Hello, Lasse. We'd like to ask you a few questions regarding your experience with the trio in the field test that you have made in Denmark. So could you please start by describing to us the application in which you made the trio field test?
Hi. Yes, sure. We did the field test in a swine farm in Denmark. It's a swine farmer already experienced with Munters products. He has Farm Master and Farm Center or Pigguard, Superguard, whatever you call it. And he has different types of rooms in his swine farm, from farrowing to weaners to slaughtery pigs and so on and so forth. We decided to use a weaner house for the test because the wieners are generally smaller pigs, require accurate ventilation and are more delicate to do the ventilation for. The wiener house has inlets and it has exhaust fans and it has heating systems that we have been controlling. We started up with only one wiener apartment, did the first test, and when that was a success, we added another apartment to test the dual room function of the controller.
Thank you very much, Lasse. What was your impression with the installation and setup of the trio?
Generally, you can say the installation has become much easier because you have a graphical layout, a graphical display now. Actually, the display and the user interface will tell you what functions to choose for the inputs that you have connected into the controller itself. So, in general, the menus are well explained, and the user interface are really intuitive to use.
That's very, very good to hear. Thank you. What is your impression of the daily use, or the user's impression of the daily use of the trio?
It's a very user-friendly and easy to approach controller, and especially for users that are familiar to Rotem products, Munters products in the past, they will have very easy to adapt to the new trio controller. But also new users will have very easy to start up and use the controller because of the user-friendly interface of it. It's a really good quality screen. We have had this impression from the farmer as well. He confirmed that because one of the things with touchscreen can be, how sensitive they are to dirt, especially in the environment of a farm. And he confirms that absolutely no problems with even with small amount of dirt on his fingers or whatever that you see in the farm. And he also confirms that he have a really good overview generally on the settings and the management of the data that you have in whether this being temperature curve or minimum ventilation or a number of animals is very easy to use.
Okay, so you say simplicity, intuitiveness, user-friendly.
Yeah.
Can you name a few other benefits, the way you see them, of the trio?
Yeah, definitely. Using the PID control as an algorithm for managing the temperature inside the room are super attractive for such a controller here. First of all, it will give you a much stable temperature curve during the day, and the setup and setup and fine tuning of the controller is much easier with the PID. It requires minimum changes to how aggressive it should be to temperature changes and stuff like that. So that's really good. Also, the multi-room or dual room function that we implemented in this one will be attractive for the farmers. It's first of all reducing the installation cost for the farmer, but additionally to this, it's easy to use. He can with fewer spots he has to visit in the farm to check up on settings and data. He can do that with only half the spots now with the dual room function. And then finally, the language that we have multi-language possibility inside there is a big advantage for him, having people from different countries employed at the farm. And then finally, the high efficiency fan program that we put into it, I think that will also really be attractive for most users, especially these users who are using our Munters Drive or high energy efficient fans. They will have a huge benefit of using this program because it will reduce the running cost of the fans, so to say.
Thank you for the great answer. In conclusion, could you share with us some information about the results of the field test? uh,
Yeah.
regarding climate control and the air quality itself?
Yeah. There, generally, you can say, thanks to the PID control, we have had a super accurate temperature along the flock in these houses. We have now tested both winter and summer months, so we have had both the cold situation and the warm situation, and you can say that the way that it managed the temperature inside the room is super accurate. The minimum ventilation management, we have added now a new function that you do minimum ventilation by weight, and this is much easier for the farmers to manage and make sure that he have adequate ventilation for his animals, regardless with what size they are grown to. And we also see already now that because of this accurate temperature control, the heat consumption in the house has been less than compared to what he has seen in the older controllers. And then finally, again, maybe the last one is repeating myself, but it's much easier for the farmer to ensure good communication with the controller when you have this multi-language feature, namely because he has. Or typically they will have employees from Eastern Europe or from elsewhere not speaking Danish in this matter, in this case, or any other language, and you can easily switch between the language available inside the controller. I think that was a huge benefit for him as well. So
Okay, Lasse.
overall, a very good success.
Thank you. Thank you very much for
You're
the
welcome.
great conversation, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.
Yes, see you.